Text Prison Story Family Salute, y'all. It's your boy Tim Snow back here with another one. And we're going to try this take two. I apologize. I messed up on the first one. But if you can please excuse me, we're going to try it again. I got one of my homeboys in here from California with me. He's definitely one of the YouTube OGs. One of the first people I started watching on YouTube. And just really one of my homies, man. I probably did 50 videos on his channel, just live videos, tapping in, chatting, having fun. So we're gonna run it back on mine like we're supposed to. This cat right here, he did I believe 19 years, level 4 type facilities in California, maximum security. He was one of the first people to drop a personal YouTube channel to tell his own stories, not just interview people, but actually tell stories from his incarceration, his time, and just a pretty cool dude. You know what I mean? If you enjoy laid back content, he'll do a lot of smoking and chilling and doing a lot of hanging out, man. I just appreciate you tapping in. Introduce yourself, brother. Tell them how to find you, social media, all that.
Uh, One thing I gotta always resist the temptation about is that when I come on my brother's channel, like we come on each other's channel, and it be like if he on my channel, that's his channel. If I come on his channel, shit, he expect me to know what comes with being on your folks' channel, and that's directing the narrative, delivering content, and making it interesting. So with that being said, man, my name Dirty Weather 916. I've been in this genre since the very beginning, and I started off like homeless, telling stories from outside my blue Durango, sleeping outside of Walmart, and then while I was on the run, and then I ended up getting caught, going back in, and I came back with a plan, and I'm about to turn this YouTube stuff up. Because back then in the 2010s, like YouTube it was a different animal. It's not like it is right now. There was nobody talking about prison stuff because it was taboo. Like you always got people that think they know it, but then they speak on it real quick, but really they don't know. So when the person telling his prison stories, they was like, man, you're snitching, you're doing all this. So it kind of discouraged people from living in their truth and just telling their stories, whether it was innocent or gangster or whatever. They didn't want to do it. So when I came telling my funny stories, that bust open the door because now it's like, okay, this is the right way to go about, these telling these funny ass prison stories, because there was many nights in prison where I was like, if the world could just hear this funny ass shit, if they could just hear this. And I brought that out. I brought that mentality out. And then next thing you know, what you have is the prison genre. Because before that, there was no prison genre. There was no name of no prison genre. You just had Big Herc. You had Josh. You had the After Prison show. But they was telling other people's stories. They wasn't really telling their stories, their experiences. And that's what separated us, me and the Tim Snows, from a lot of other content creators, because we was part of the first movement that came on here talking about our own stories plus other people's stories. They came on 100% capitalization. We came on like, this is our balls and our word, this is all we got. And that's what separated us from them people that didn't get the name prison genre, even though they was there. The prison genre didn't come until after they had to try to figure out how to categorize us, people that are telling our stories with real experiences. They didn't know where to put us. So that's how you got the name prison genre. Because I don't know what they talking about. I just know it's some prison shit. So that's them prison genre dudes over there.
Yeah.
And there wasn't that many of us.
So check this out. One day when you were talking about how long you've been doing it for and that you was one of the first, I shot you a video that I had from 2015. I did, and you shot me one a little bit sooner than you did. I said, damn. I said, damn,
Yeah.
for real. I said, man, I wasn't ready for that, right? I thought, oh, I'm gonna shut dirt down. I shot you one from 2015, and you had me beat, dog. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, man, shit. I came to the conscious decision when I was in prison. I was like, bro, like these motherfuckers that robbed me for half of my life. So what do I know frontwards and backwards? Like, what is it that I know that can't nobody tell me about? And unfortunately, the sad answer was prison. Can't nobody tell me about prison.
But you know, Dirt, I seen one of my favorite trolls, and I ain't gonna say his name because I don't like doing it, but you know who I'm talking about. I'll tell you later. He said one time that people like you and I that we're lucky. Literally said that we're lucky that we went to prison because now we got a bunch of good stories. How do you feel about that comment? Are we lucky?
Hell no, man. Because at the end of them stories, they're sacrificing them things. Like I could just think of the shit that I had to go through, and I'm very uncut. Like America knows I had to eat my dookie to be potty watched. Like America knows that a fucking prison suitcase is your bunghole. Like America knows these things now because of us. Like being uncut. But I could tell you a story and say, yeah, man. I remember the first time I was on the yard. The yard went down. It was a stabbing, and the police was surrounding us. And I had a knife, and I had nowhere to put it, but in the suitcase.
Mm-hmm. So
So
we say that ain't the life you want, right?
it's not the life you want. And that was the conflict that I had as I told my stories, because when you retell them, you're experiencing some form of PTSD. And that's why I stopped with it for a while. Actually, I stopped with it, let's be honest. Because every time I had to tell a story, I had to put my mind back in that mind frame. And that ain't what I'm living now. It's not what I'm living. So every time that it was time to go back, it was a mental process. 2 blunts, 2 shots, a Red Bull to prepare myself to tell these prison stories. So when we talk about, you say how it was easy or how is it or what? No, man, that shit was never easy.
No, I know it, bro. So listen, you said right there why anybody that's been following my channel understands why I've taken 6 months breaks before. I've taken 7 month breaks before. I've taken long breaks before. You know, so I told you a long time ago when I first met you, I wanted to keep my channel bad on topic, right? We're gonna stay on a straight line. We're gonna talk prison. This is not the life you want. Blah blah blah. But what that did to me in our reality was do exactly what you're saying. PTSD. Like I would go from playing with my kid to now I got to go back in prison mode. You know what I mean? You literally have to emotionally put yourself back in this situation, and it's not easy. You know what I mean? I found out honestly doing interviews is a lot easier than telling personal stories. I don't know why that is. Like I have a million stories, but I'll think of them, right? I'll be driving my truck at work like that's a good story. I need to tell it. But then when it comes down to like actually doing it, it just does something to me, and I will end up not doing it. It's hard to explain, right? So I'm glad you said that
Hey,
somebody else that
hey,
can understand.
well, you right. It is hard to explain to somebody that don't know, or they not YouTubers, or they ain't been. Look, come on, man. Like I've done that so many times. Like, oh, that's a good story, or oh, that's good content. And then from the process of that to getting home, or the process to doing what I'm doing to get in front of that camera, my mind didn't talk myself up out of it already.
I know it, but here's the thing too. Look how far that people seen you come, Dirt, including myself. You just said when it started that you started off YouTube being homeless, doing them in your car. If y'all wonder where you seen this guy from, if you never seen his channel, which is Dirty Weather 916, make sure you go subscribe, check it out. But he did a interview on Fresh Out with Big Herc, and this man interview hit a million views quick. His story was so real, so raw, so different than everything else that it hit a million views fast. I mean, went viral. And that's something major, right? Hitting a million views on YouTube is hard as hell. So that was
Yeah.
something. When you hit the million views on that, were you already YouTubing? No, that's what I never asked you. Were you YouTubing first, or was that the start of it?
Okay. So what happened is in 2013 I came home on 4th of July. And like I thought I wanted to be the next Tupac, the next Scarf, whatever. I just thought music was the way. And so I realized real quick, like, nah, yeah, music is cool, and I did all that, but you're gonna be basically a slave to somebody else's time management, and I ain't feel that. I ain't wasn't feeling it. So I started making content, and I made a prison stuff. The first prison thing I made was describing what we use to smoke blunts or smoke sticks in prison. Like, and it was prison rolling papers, and that was the wrapper on the outside of the toilet paper. In California, we call it 415. I don't know why, just 415 the Bay Area, but we call it that wrapping around the toilet paper 415, and we use that to smoke our cigarettes and to smoke our joints. And that was in 2014. That was the video that you was talking about when you played one and I played the other.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's what I was wondering. So two people I can think of watching on YouTube since I've been here that started off homeless, bro, and it's you and it's Milk 74. Milk literally started making his videos in an alley behind a dumpster. You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now he's in a high rise smoking blunts on the balcony. You know what I mean? And I feel like us three particularly, Tim Snow, Dirty Weather 916, and Milk 74, a lot of people, bro, got to watch us come up. And I'm gonna say something right here. You can run back and watch my older videos, all of them, where my teeth was yellow as fuck. They was stained and shit. And guess why, Dirt? Because I was
Uh,
fresh out smoking 415s all fucking day. Nah, real talk, dog. Listen, I'm in there smoking toilet paper wrap, fucking everything and brown paper napkins and shit coming straight out and making YouTube. Then I started whitening my teeth and I started doing better, started elevating my life. You know what I'm saying? I watched you come up like a motherfucker, dog. Like now fresh as hell in all your videos, looking good, big smoking, you know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of people can relate to that journey that we went through though, bro. Like we went from me fresh out. I got out. All I got was $40 and a hug from my family. You feel me? And told me good luck. I watched Dirt start from being homeless. I watched Milk start from being homeless. People have followed our journey this entire time. You know, and do you ever feel like do you ever think to yourself, man, I can't go back to being homeless because I don't want YouTube to see what I'm going through? Like, does this shit ever motivate you in life? Like, man, I don't want to be the next guy in the newspaper going to jail or back homeless or whatever. Do you ever think about it like that? Because I know I do.
there was a time. There was a time when I did, right, but then I took the YouTube out of it, and I just look at the homeless people around me that's surrounding the city as I'm driving around doing what I do. And I just, them is all my reminders. Like, these people made a bad decision somewhere in life. They made a bad choice. And then whether it was to hit that pipe or to surrender that job, to divorce their wife, to fall in love with that beam versus real life, whatever decision they made, if you sleeping on the side of a building, you made a bad decision. That, and I put that in my thinking, and that's what's kept me motivated. Like, because the real truth of the reality is if I can come home after 20 years and be doing good, that means that there's a lot of people that don't got no excuse. A lot of people they ain't got no excuse.
No, absolutely. Listen, I don't. I've never talked about this before on a video, Dirt. But when I first came home from the feds, they make it mandatory that you go to a federal halfway house, right? Even if you got a place to parole to, whatever, it don't matter. You're going to the halfway house. The one in Houston is about 50 feet away from Tent City, is what they call it, right? It's under the overpass. This is the big area where the homeless people sleep in the tents. They're they're literally that's what they do. It's Tent City. That explains it all right there, right? Well,
Yeah,
anyway, when I started going to welding school, I had to walk through Tent City and catch the bus on that side, catch the little rail train or whatever it's called. Do you know, bro? When I would walk through Tent City, every so often somebody would yell my name out, and I'd be like, "What the fuck?" You know, this way before YouTube. I turn around and it would be somebody that I've done some time with before in the state, not in the feds. It'd be state guys that I knew, and they were
Yeah.
literally living in these tents, man. And mixed emotion, right? Like I would be so happy to see them. Like we were people that I was close to, friends with. You know how when you do time with people, you become friends with them. You know what I mean? So you see them, you're happy to see them, but you don't know how to, like, how do you even acknowledge? Oh, yo, bro, nice to see you. I see you living in a tent right now. You know what I mean? I didn't really know how to even approach that type of situation. So it'd be like a topic that we didn't quite talk about. But you know what? After a while, man, do you know I would literally duck off in the tents with these dudes? I could say I fell asleep in a tent before with the homeless dudes. We go drop in there and eat lunch, dog. Like it was no. I don't know how to. I don't know. I'm not proud of this,
Okay.
right? But it
So
wasn't like no big deal for me to jump in the tent with them, dog.
what I would say is I'm gonna give you two perspectives. Like you seen when I did the interview with Wally, I called him Walmart Wally. He was the white dude that used to just basically fly the sign from station to station, eating though off of that, panhandling, flying the sign, and then that was then. So now when we look at where we are now, you're constantly reminded of where you don't want to go, but you have to have had that humanity already in you. So when you was going inside them tents, and when I was interviewing the homeless, we was displaying something that everybody, they wasn't displaying that back then. They wasn't displaying that back then, because then we would have been like, the reason why we're doing this is because we want you to see. We want you to see what could happen. Because the real fucked up thing is these people is comfortable living that way of life. Because you're not responsible for nobody but you.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy.
Now I'll say, listen, that's the real truth. So I didn't want to say that. I don't want to be disrespectful or anything like that. But it was easy for them because Tent City right there in Houston. Guess what? You can go to Star of Hope in the morning and get breakfast. You can go to a place called Fishes and Loaves right there, about 50 feet away, get lunch, and then they would
Wow.
order. They would go order the
They got a
steaks.
fishes and loaves out there. We got a fishes and loaves out here. Wow.
Yeah, yeah. Listen, then they go to a place called Lord of the Streets for dinner. So they had three hot meals right there. All of them had, well, not all of them, but most of them had food stamps, Obama phones, and all that type of stuff, right? So they were content. They had all the dope, all the anything that you could want right there. And it was a trip to see these people content, but at the same time, it was nothing that I wanted, right? It was actually a little bit of motivation for me. It was a mixed mixed feeling. I don't know how to explain it. Like to see these people living like that. So here's the real truth, right? To see these people living like that and to know that they were content and it wasn't that bad was kind of like a security blanket in life. Like to know, hey, as bad as it can possibly get in life, you can still find some type of happiness like these people have. You feel me? But at the same time, I'm thinking this is not the life I want to live, right? So it was a little bit of both, if that makes any sense.
Hell yeah. When I was homeless, sleeping in Walmart parking lots and Home Depot parking lots, all I had to do was just make it through the night. I make it through the night, wake up, go to the gym, shit, shave, bathe, work out, figure out how I'm going to feed myself, and go back to my parking spot.
Right, right. I
That
mean,
shit sound hella easy, ain't it?
so I think it's so easy that some people get content with it though, that they start realizing this ain't as bad as I thought it would be. You know what I mean?
That's supposed to be the natural process. And unfortunately, that natural process be hijacked to where they're continuously cool with being like under them, like they don't see nothing wrong with it. So it becomes a continuous process versus a problem that you want to fix.
Right. I feel that. Yeah.
And so with my situation, I was with somebody that didn't see things the way I saw it. All I needed to do is just sit still and I could build. But the whirlwind way of life wasn't for me. But I was put in a situation where I had to embrace these new experiences and realize that this ain't what I would normally do, but I'm going to make lemonade from lemons so that I have these connections once this whirlwind is over.
Can I
And then
ask you
once it
something? Can I ask you
go
something on
ahead.
that? Because a lot of people want to know this, right? Life after prison, though, right? We're talking about being homeless. We're talking about all this shit. We know it's hard. Can you give these people that are watching some type of advice how to overcome, like how to actually say fuck this homeless shit, fuck this shit that's going on? Like, how do you actually make the switch to say I'm gonna make a change now? Though this is easy and it ain't as bad as I thought, but how do I kick it in gear to change it?
See, the problem is, like, I always thought that people should be able to think the way I think, but that's not realistically because I sum shit up in small, compact statements of motivation, whether it's mine or I learned it from somebody else. But I've been homeless. I've been had to figure it out. I've been on the run, homeless, and lost all the money I had and had to figure it out. Not being able to rent a place, not being able to afford a hotel no more, like on the other side of the country, away from all your resources. Like I've been through all that. So I would sum it up and say, if you're homeless or you're going through some type of hard time, plan your work and work your plan. Like plan your work and work your plan. Everything else is gonna fall into place. And make sure you pray as you work in your plan. That's what I would say.
I like that. Thank you for that, my man. And listen, make sure you subscribe to Dirty Weather 916 on YouTube. This is my real homie right here. I've been rocking with him for fuck, man. It's 2004. Probably 4 years already, 5 years, something like that. You know what I mean? Northern California, real good cat. Dirt, I
We
got a
hey, that
question
was
for you.
2000. That was 2018-19. So we
Yeah,
passed
five.
forward.
Yeah,
We in the
yeah, yeah.
fight this.
Yeah. It's been a minute, dog. So listen, here goes my next question, purely for the viewers. And Dirt said I could do what I wanted with this one. So this I'm gonna just keep going down the rabbit hole. Dirty Weather, can you compare to me what it was like living in a maximum security prison versus living in your car in parking lots at Walmart and stuff like that, and which one you'd rather do?
Damn, that's actually nobody's ever asked me nothing like that. But 100%, I would rather be homeless sleeping in my car than in prison. 100%. And I used to have to wake up, go to the Dollar Tree, and steal my meal, whatever my meal was gonna be, whether it was a top ramen with some mayonnaise and some relish and some beef jerky, broke into my top ramen with some condiments I got from the gas station. Like, if this is what I gotta do to feed myself, this is what I'm gonna do. But if I'm inside, everything is given to me. Like I was a hustler inside, so I had everything I needed. And that was real easy. Like being in there and just, I got a phone, I got food, I got music, I got TV, I got dopest clothes, shoes, like all the little stuff that everybody wants. I'm gonna make sure I got in there. But all of that means this much when it comes to, hold on, son, like, okay, that's zero. You see that zero?
Zero.
All of that means that much when it comes to freedom. Period.
Absolutely. Dirk, let me ask you another question. We're going to go a different direction because I'm steady getting stuff in my mind. Now, when you got to prison, you talking about being a hustler and having everything you need and all that. How long does it take a man that arrives at a maximum security facility, level 4 type yard, before he can say that, before he starts knowing what's going on, before he can start hustling and getting his money? How long did it take you to get in place like that?
Okay, so you got two ways to look at it. If you're coming from the streets and you don't know nothing, like just straight from a youngin' trying to understand shit, that's one way of looking at it. But if you're somebody that already got the game down packed, then when you hit another yard, it's only a matter of time. And so, like, once I got the game down packed and I hit another yard, all I do is go where the money go. Go where the money go. And you start to find out who's bums, who's doing it, who's moving, who's shaking. And then you already know you ain't thinking like the average motherfucker. They want to sell 10s, 15s, 20s, 30s, when you thinking zips have zips on a penitentiary yard. So automatically you're separated from them type of people. And it don't matter. For me, it didn't matter where I went. I could have went to Southern California. Could have been in Northern California. I was still going to be a shaker no matter where I went because of the way I thought.
No, that's for real, right? Like it takes a penitentiary. I've said it before. Is more of a mental thing than physical thing. Sure, you might have to do some physical activities, right? But it comes down to who can outthink the other person. That so the prison is full of. I know at least here, right? I can't speak for California, but I'm pretty sure it's the same. It's full of mental games as much as it's full of anything else, right? It's the ranking in inmates comes down. Yeah, it comes down to physical. It comes down to mental also, and then it comes down to what financial. Right, the guy with the most money might really run the whole show. So I wasn't even gonna talk about this, right? But because it wasn't that big of a deal, and this ain't even how I know the man. But somebody did ask in the comments, Dirt, about 60 Days In, and my man right here was actually on the TV show 60 Days In, and can you just tell them what happened on 60 Days In from your side? A lot of people did want to know, Dirty Weather. Like, they said, man, the man did 19 years in prison, all this type of shit. What really happened? Like, just tell them what
So
happened.
let me say this first. Like when it come to my channel, I was tired of defending myself, and I would go to other places, and I was devalued. But the thing is, I was a prison dude before I went on that show, and I'm still a prison dude after that. So understanding that will allow you to hear what I'm about to say to y'all clearly. So when it come to Dirt and Tim Snow, you ain't even got to revisit that. My cousin, my cousin, he's 2 years younger than me. He just went to the hospital yesterday because his heart was beating irregularly and his blood pressure was 160. And they had to put him on the defibrillator thing to get his stuff back normal. This was yesterday. And everybody in my family in Del Paso Heights, California, for some strange reason, all my family, we all got big shoulders. Like our shoulders is blessed for whatever reason. We some big humans. And me and this cousin used to talk like, man, we got to get our health back right, man. We got to do this, man. Like, and next thing you know, he getting rushed to the hospital. So when I'm on this show and my blood pressure, this is a part that everybody misses. My blood pressure is normally 120. 120 normally. And if my blood pressure is all of a sudden 155, 160 consecutively every day, and I'm feeling it in my body like something's not right, do I want to volunteer myself to be the first person to die on a reality show trying to impress these people that think that because I did 20 years that I should be able to do 60 days like it's nothing? I'm talking big boy decisions to y'all right now. Big boy decisions. Because if somebody was fueled by pride, they would have been like, yeah, man, they're Big Tony watching me, Big Mikey watching me, and they would have went through it, and whatever happened. Unfortunately for me, 155, 160 blood pressure for 5 days straight. I don't care if it's because I smoke weed every day. I don't care if it's because I have a nip every so often and my body ain't getting it. I don't care if it's because I've been living free and all of a sudden I'm back up in this environment that got my blood pressure rising. I don't care about none of that when it comes to the fact that they not giving me the adequate health care that I need. I could see if they was rushing to my aid, telling me they was going to let me talk to the doctor, or they was going to give me some blood pressure pills. No, there was none of that. And there was none of that in sight. There was no relief in sight. Everything about this show said deal with it.
Hold on, Dirt. Hold
Deal
on,
with it.
Dirt. I'm sorry, I don't mean to stop you though, because they're chirping in the comments, right? How many years did you do in California prisons?
20.
20 years, right? Okay. So I'm gonna be honest with you. What you just said right there, I started off my prison channel telling losing stories, right? Because I felt like ego should not be involved in this prison stuff like this. That's not gonna help nobody, right? We everybody says they're on a mission to help the kids and do this for the children and blah blah blah. Well, from day one, I knew that wasn't gonna do it, and I have not had ego in this channel, and I haven't seen any of that in yours. So I know you're telling the truth, right? Like that's not even
Man, that's
without a
the
doubt.
reason why you never seen an interview with me and Badger. Because Badger got to telling me about I need to have a mission statement about how I'm supposed to save the children and shit. And I'm like, man, I just got out the pen. Like I'm a regular competitor in this motherfucker. Only thing I know is the truth. So I don't know how to sugarcoat a statement or something like he wanted me to do. That's why you never seen a Dirty Weather and Badger interview.
Right, right. Shout out to OG Badger because he helped me get started. I ain't gonna lie, right? When I went on Badger, I think I had 2,000 subscribers and he had like 35 or something, and that was a big deal to me. And so I appreciate that. But no, I feel what you're saying totally. So listen,
Hold on. You giving flowers. You gotta give Dirty his flowers too, because Dirty was up in there in the origins of Tim Snow too.
no, yeah, yeah, man. Listen, I know, man. So yeah, for sure. This my bro, y'all. Like we already said, day one right here. You know what I mean? Like I tried to one up him with the 2015 video and he beat me. That's what I'm saying. So I had to admit it. But what I'm saying, listen, bro, is in all reality, no, you don't owe none of these people nothing, right? Shout out to the homie Hangout and Josh. What I told him is YouTube is something that's free. All viewers watch for free. And I mean this with no disrespect. And I love all my Texas Prison Story family, the Dirty Nation, everybody, man. We got love for y'all. We know y'all, the regulars, we know y'all by name. Half the time we know about y'all personally. You know what I mean? That's how it
Yeah.
goes, right? But no, we don't owe y'all anything. We do this in our spare time. I got my daughter in there right now, up too late. I got in there watching the TV, being quiet. I'm doing this video when I shouldn't even really be doing it. But I don't owe the family nothing. You don't owe nobody nothing. So when you come on when you come on 60 days in, hell no, you don't owe nobody nothing. You don't have to prove nothing to nobody. But here's my thing, dog. I've been wanting to ask you this, right? And it's maybe not even an on-camera question, but I'm gonna go ahead and ask it.
Oh man, man. Look, I be hoping that you ask me a question that somebody else ain't asked me. To be
I'm
honest.
finna ask. I'm finna ask because I'm gonna keep
All
it
right,
real because that's how
shoot.
we are. So when you was on there and you're getting ready to tap out, right? Not having done it yet, is it going through your mind that man, if I just come on this bitch and stay the whole 60 days in, maybe I can parlay this into a bigger experience. Maybe I can get rich some type of way off this shit. Am I giving up an opportunity right now by tapping out? Fuck how you look, fuck what the people think, all that type of shit. I'm saying like, are you thinking I really am about to give something up? Like, did you have a dream coming into this that I'm gonna parlay this into being like a world
I
famous dude?
did. I did. Like I knew like this was about to parlay into my YouTube career. And then I was looking at the past contestants. Shout out Carlos. You know, he didn't parlay it in the boxing and stuff. But I was looking at the past contestants and measuring their success. But I'm gonna tell you something, Tim Snow. When I seen all the success that they had, I realized that they didn't hold a candle to me. I didn't survive 20 years in prison. They playing. I done been on TV 2 times before being on 60 Days In. They playing. And I didn't already came out and started a whole genre basically telling prison stories. They playing. So they don't hold a candle to me. So that was what I had to learn about comparing myself to them. So that's what helped me minimize my expectations. Yeah, I thought I was gonna parlay all that shit, but when it came to my health and living life, none of that mattered.
No, I feel it. Yeah, hell no, it don't matter. In all reality, no, it don't. You know what I mean? And I don't know, Dirt. So when I heard about you being on 60 days in, I was like, this is fucking nuts. And you know what I asked? I asked myself, how the fuck does this dude keep doing it? Like he's literally been on TV again. I'm like, man, how in the hell does this dude keep doing it? That's all I thought. Real talk.
Hey, you ain't even factoring in the fact that I done been on the news too. I was on Telemundo. What do you
I didn't
mean?
even know that. That's my
I was
favorite
on
channel with the
I,
Latinas.
I was on Telemundo after being on Channel 13 out here. So I didn't been around, man. I didn't been around. And you ain't the only one that say how does he keep doing it? But I don't know either. I don't even know how I keep doing
So
it.
listen, did
All
you
I all I
notice?
know is all I
Did you
know is
notice?
if
I'm sorry, my apologize. Listen, did you notice
nah, man, you good.
when you went on 60 days in? I tried like hell to just to stay away from that though. I'm like, say that ain't got shit to do with me. I like dirt. You know what I'm saying? There are other people want to talk about it and shit like that. They want to interview you about it. I mean, I'm always down to have you on the channel, but I'm not down to exploit you or take advantage of no
Yeah, nah.
situation.
Hey, put like this, Tim. You my partner, so it's different. Somebody else coming trying to question me and interrogate me or ask me questions, they got to pay me. I'm sorry to sound so arrogant,
Nah, real
but
talk.
when it comes to that, they got to pay me. But you my partner. And so it would be like if we was partners on the yard and you pushed, I mean, not pushed up on me, but you see me years later in life and you like, man, what happened when we was on the yard, man? What went down? So that's simple shit. Hell yeah, man. Yeah, man. I know I did all that motherfucking time, but shit, they wasn't about to kill me on that motherfucking show. Fuck that shit. And you gonna be like, show you right, and
Nah,
then we move on. But the average person, like what they do is they look at themselves like if I was in that position, I would have did it. I would have conquered it. But the thing is, they wasn't in them shoes.
nah, I
They
get
didn't
it.
get that chance.
I get it. My thing was, I just, hey man, listen, that's your spotlight, right? I didn't want to take it from you, and nor did I want to capitalize on nothing that happened. 'Cause I know you're a real motherfucker, dog. Like that's not even a question. I wouldn't have been on Dirty Weather 916 channel 50 times already if I didn't think that. You feel me?
Yeah,
That's
I
for real.
appreciate that. Hey man, I appreciate that. So in closing, because I have to get ready to go to work. But in closing, I'm gonna say this, man. The moment that you start living your life dictated by pride is the moment that you're not in control.
Nah, I feel that.
Period. All right, man.
Yeah,
So let me get
that
up out
ain't
of here,
my
Tim
day.
Snow,
Listen,
man. I hope you
try to.
start going live more often, man. I'm gonna be coming back through. Man, subscribe to Dirty Weather 916. Man, and hey, look, right now y'all might see some a bunch of conflict, but no, man, weather the storm, and you're gonna see, man, it's greater days ahead, man. Salute to Tim Snow and Texas Prison Stories. Go.
Man, listen, if nothing else, I can't do nothing but vouch for how Dirt's done me, right? For years now. Dude been like rock solid. Never veered away, never done anything different, you know what I mean? Stayed the course, and I appreciate people like that. If you've been following me from day one, you know I've tried to be just me, and he's kind of the same way. So make sure you check out Dirty Weather 916. And I appreciate everybody tapping in. Y'all make sure y'all hit that thumbs up for me. Excuse me, I'm full of them beers. Hit the thumbs up button for me. I'll catch y'all later.